think of the income that would finally feel like enough. Now remember, you once thought that about the income you have. In the next few minutes, you will learn why that number keeps moving. Picture the evening the promotion finally comes through. Tonight, the number in your banking app is the number you asked for. You do the slow walk around the apartment, letting the next life play in your head. For about 6 weeks, everything feels upgraded. The commute annoys you less. The apartment feels bigger. You tip differently. You stand differently. Then, quietly, the feeling files itself away as normal. The new salary becomes the floor you stand on, not the view. And somewhere ahead, a new number starts to glow. Rich, it turns out, is not a number. It is a horizon. You walk, it walks with you. The distance never changes. Before we finish, you will see what the famous $75,000 study really found. You will meet monkeys who riot over cucumbers and millionaires who feel behind. But first, 1978, and the perfect test subjects, the people who got the largest raise possible. Their study compared 3 groups nobody would think to compare. Recent winners of the Illinois State Lottery, $50,000 to $1 million. Recent accident victims, paralyzed from the waist or the neck down. And ordinary people, pulled from the same phone book. Philip Brickman's team expected the winners to be transformed by joy. They were not. On present happiness, the winners scored no higher than neighbors who had won nothing. Then came the stranger result. Everyone rated 7 small pleasures. Breakfast, a good joke, a magazine, a compliment. The winners rated them lower than everyone else. The jackpot had raised the bar for pleasure, and everything ordinary fell below it. Winning had not added joy. It had subtracted it from everywhere else. Brickman already had a name for the machine, coined back in 1971, the hedonic treadmill. Whatever you gain, the feeling machinery adjusts until the gain reads as 0. The word treadmill is precise. You must keep moving just to feel the same. Now replay your own payday. The 6-week glow was the treadmill catching up. But a treadmill only makes sense once you see what stays still. Your feelings do not measure your life. They measure changes in it. A gain registers as a spike, then the baseline swallows it. Psychologists call that baseline a set point, and it works like a thermostat. Heat the room, and the system starts cooling it back. Raise the life, and the system starts calling it normal. That is why the horizon walks with you. Arrival is the one thing the machinery is built to erase. Now, the fair objection. Lottery money is weird money. Unearned, sudden, chaotic. Maybe earned money behaves better. Fine, ignore the winners and watch entire countries get a raise. An economist did exactly that in 1974. Because if money buys happiness, a richer country should be a happier one. That prediction is so obvious it feels like arithmetic. Richard Easterlin decided to actually check across nations, across decades. Inside any country, at any moment, the rich reported more happiness than the poor. So far, so obvious. Then he tracked whole countries as their economies exploded. America, in the decades after the war, real income per person nearly doubled. Happiness surveys over the same years. Flat. Japan was even more extreme. Income multiplied several times over. Reported happiness barely moved. Everyone got richer, and nobody felt it. The Easterlin paradox, it is called, and it has survived 50 years of fights. Notice what it implies. Your raise worked, but only until your neighbors caught up. Which raises a darker question. What exactly were you buying with that raise? In 1998, two researchers at Harvard asked it with one brutal question. Here is that question. Answer it honestly before you judge anyone. World 1. You earn $50,000 a year. Everyone around you earns $25,000. World 2. You earn $100,000. Everyone around you earns $200,000. Prices are identical in both. World 2 buys twice the life. Any economist will tell you the question answers itself. Solnick and Hemenway put it to students and staff at Harvard. Half chose World 1. Read that again. Half of Harvard took a real pay cut to win the comparison. Because the raise was never about the groceries. It was about position. And position is a ladder other people are also climbing. You cannot out-earn a ranking. Someone always reprices the next rung. One more detail. The same survey also asked about vacation time. People answered that one completely differently. Hold it. It returns at the end. But maybe this whole disease is new, a symptom of feeds and corner offices. It is at least 250 years older than that. In 1759, Adam Smith, the father of economics, described a boy. He called him the poor man's son, whom heaven in its anger has visited with ambition. The boy sees the houses of the rich and swears he will have one. He studies, submits, grinds, selling every present hour to an imagined future ease. Smith follows him all the way to old age, when the ledger finally settles. It settles on a man who traded a lifetime of calm for the idea of calm. Wealth, Smith wrote, keeps off the summer shower, not the winter storm. 250 years before smartphones, the machine was already running. Smith could describe the treadmill. He could not measure it. The measuring took until 2010, and it started a war. You have heard its most famous number, $75,000. The number comes from a real study, and the internet mangled it. In 2010, Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton split happiness in two. Life evaluation, the score you give your life, kept rising with income, without limit. But day-to-day feeling seemed to flatten near $75,000. That second half became the headline, and the headline became folklore. Blogs quoted it. Salary talks cited it. The internet loved having a finish line. Then, in 2021, Matthew Killingsworth rebuilt the experiment from scratch. His app pinged 33,000 earners mid-moment. How do you feel right now? Over 1 million real-time reports later, the flattening was gone. Feeling kept climbing with income, well past the myth. 2 studies, 2 verdicts. So the 2 men did something science rarely does. They ran a joint study to prove each other wrong, with a referee. The 2023 verdict. For most people, more money keeps helping, with one catch. The curve is logarithmic. Each identical dose of feeling costs roughly double the money. There is your treadmill, written in math. The next step costs the last step, times 2. Double, you say. So find the people who already doubled it 10 times. In 2018, researchers got something rare. Honest answers from 2,000 millionaires. Net worths from 1 million to well past 10. One question mattered. How much money would make you perfectly happy? The most common answer, at every single level of wealth, 2 to 3 times more. The man with 1 million needs 3. The man with 10 million needs 30. Perfect happiness, permanently priced at 1 doubling away. Nobody ever says this. Nobody says now. Enough is not a quantity. It is a multiplier. and multipliers never land. The horizon does not recede at walking pace, it recedes at compound interest. So the chase cannot be won, which leaves one question. Can it be stopped? Careful. The obvious answer, wanting less, misses how deep the wiring goes. To see how deep, watch two monkeys get paid unequal wages. 2003. A lab. Two monkeys, side by side, working for pay. The job, hand a small rock to the researcher. The wage, a slice of cucumber. Both monkeys work happily. Cucumber is fine. Cucumber is normal. Then the researchers start paying one monkey in grapes. The other monkey watches the upgrade happen. Offered her usual cucumber, she takes it and hurls it back at the scientist. She rattles the cage. She slaps the floor. She is done working. Nothing about her wage changed. Only the comparison did. That rage is older than money, older than language, older than us. Your species did not invent the ranking. It only invented new ways to lose. Now give that monkey a smartphone. Your set point recalibrates against a reference group, the people you see daily. For most of history, that meant your street and your workplace. Your feed replaced the street with a highlight reel of global winners. The comparison group your brain was built for was a village of 150. You gave it 8 billion, curated for envy. That is why everyone around you seems rich. The treadmill now imports its horizons. The grape is always on someone else's screen now. Once you see it, you can run the trick backwards. Notice which purchases you replay when nobody is watching. Those are yours. The rest are payments on a ranking you never agreed to enter. Now the second edge of the blade, and it changes the whole story. Go back to 1978, to the group everyone forgets, the accident victims. Paralyzed in the same season the winners won, they were expected to be destroyed. They were not. Their daily happiness sat far above what anyone predicted. The same machinery that swallowed the jackpot was quietly digesting the catastrophe. Later, studies traced the same arc through the worst rooms of a life. Widows, across the years, drift most of the way back to who they were. Adaptation is not a design flaw. It is the shock absorber of the species. It will eat your next raise, yes, and also your worst year. You cannot keep the machine's mercy and refuse its tax. But note what the machine cannot digest. The studies found holdouts. Unemployment leaves a scar it never fully erases. So does a loud, long commute. So the goal was never to stop the treadmill. The goal is to aim it, to choose what you make it erase. Look once more at the horizon you are chasing. 2 letters before we close. The first, to you, mid-chase. Keep the race. Ambition is not the disease. Unaimed ambition is. Spend where the treadmill runs slow. It devours objects, but chokes on variety, people, stories. A bigger screen disappears in a month. A strange trip refuses to. And remember the vacation question we left open. The same people who halved their salary for rank refuse to give up their weeks. Nobody experiences your free Tuesday but you. Time is the currency rank cannot see. So buy back your commute before you upgrade your car. And when you daydream a number, write down today's. Horizons only fool those who never mark the trail. The ladder is real. Just check whose wall it leans against. The second letter, to you who arrived and found it quiet. That silence is not failure. It is the machine working exactly as built. In 2010, researchers ran a small, cruel experiment with chocolate. People merely shown a photo of money ate their piece faster and enjoyed it less. Wealth does not just stop adding pleasure. Left unwatched, it unlearns the small kind. The override is unglamorous. Slow down on purpose and savor like it is scarce. Gratitude, done slowly, is not a poster slogan. It is manual override. The lottery winners lost breakfast. You do not have to. Enough was never a number waiting ahead. It was a direction you were facing. You will still walk. The species is built to walk. But now you know what the walking is for. Next time, why the people who won this game stopped wearing the logos that prove it.